everyone, welcome to our channel. So today's session is basically on the numericals for grade 9. अब ये न्यूमेरिकल्स 8th स्टैंडर्ड को भी हेल्पफुल रहेंगे, 9th स्टैंडर्ड को भी हेल्पफुल रहेंगे, 10th को भी हेल्पफुल रहेंगे बिकॉज इट इज़ द बेस. तो इस सेशन में हम बेसिकली सिंपल न्यूमेरिकल्स कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे बिकॉज मेजरली बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम आती है न्यूमेरिकल्स में. ओके सो हम वो न्यूमेरिकल्स कवर करेंगे जो बच्चों को थोड़ा सा स्कोरिंग जाए, दे कैन स्कोर गुड मार्क्स इन दैट. ओके एंड प्लस हैवी न्यूमेरिकल्स हम ज़्यादा इसमें कवर नहीं करेंगे. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद दिस. So the first question, we are starting from lesson number 1, grade 9. Okay. So the first question is we are going to take, compare the time period of a simple pendulum. So the question says, compare the time period of a simple pendulum at places where G is 9.8 meters per second square and the second value of G is given to you is 3.2 meters per second square. So दो वैल्यूज़ दिए हुए G के जहाँ पे तुम्हें फाइंड आउट करना है कंपैरिजन ऑफ द टाइम पीरियड. सो लेट अस सी नाउ. सो G1 तुम्हें दिया हुआ है 9.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. G2 तुम्हें दिया हुआ है 3.2 मीटर्स पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. So now we already know that the time period of a pendulum is inversely proportional to square root of G. Okay, so if we want T1 upon T2, just a minute. There is some problem, just a minute. T1 upon T2, so that will be square root of G2 upon G1 क्योंकि inversely proportional है. So this will be coming as square root of G2 is 3.2 and G1 is 9.8. So if we do the cancellations, you get 1.6 and you get it here 4.9. So square root of 1.6 upon 4.9. अगर हम डेसिमल निकालते हैं तो ये आएगा 16 upon 49 which comes as 4:7. So this is how we get our answer. So you may copy that or take a screenshot, then we move on to the next question. Now let's move to the next question. Hope you have copied this. We'll give you ample time to either take a screenshot or you can also copy the questions or the solution. Any one of them. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Again, the second question we are taking on pendulum only. The question says, compare the time period of two simple pendulums whose length are given 1 meter and 25 meter at a place. Okay, let us see. So now coming to this, L1 is given to you as 1 meter, L2 is given to you as 16 meters. Now we know that time period is directly proportional to square root of length. So if I write T1 upon T2, so that will be square root of L1 upon L2. So that is square root of 1 upon 16. So you get the answer as 1:8. Copy this down or take a screenshot. So this is from lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 you have vernier caliper also, screw gauge also. बट एज आई टोल्ड यू ये लेक्चर सिर्फ हम सिंपल न्यूमेरिकल्स कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे, जिसमें बच्चों को ज़्यादा एफर्ट्स ना लगाने पड़े. 1 मार्क 2 मार्क उनको ईजिली मिल जाए. एमसीक्यूज़ में भी अगर आए तो वो स्कोर कर सकते हैं. Let's move on to the next question now. Now the second next question is a very simple question. Grade 8 को भी helpful है, 9th को भी और 10th को भी. The question says express the speed of say 36 kilometers per hour in meters per second. Okay, so let us see how we will do. Okay, now kilometers per hour पहले हम इसका बेस समझा देते हैं कैसा है, देन हम कन्वर्जन फैक्टर डायरेक्टली बताएंगे. You have 36 किलोमीटर पर आवर मीन्स अपॉन 1 आवर. हमें कन्वर्ट करना है मीटर पर सेकेंड. नाउ यू नो 1 किलोमीटर इज़ 1000 मीटर्स. सो यू हैव 36 इंटू 1000 एंड आवर्स को अगर सेकेंड्स में कन्वर्ट करना है तो 60 इंटू 60. सो नाउ लेट्स सी द कन्वर्जन. 0 cancels over here, 0 cancels, 2 3s and 2 5s. तो अगर हम सिर्फ इतने पार्ट को देखें तो हमें आता है 36 इंटू 5 अपॉन 6 3s 18. तो ये हो गया हमारा कन्वर्जन फैक्टर. ओके, सो वेन एवर यू वॉन्ट टू कन्वर्ट किलोमीटर पर आवर टू मीटर पर सेकेंड, द कन्वर्जन फैक्टर इज़ 5/18. सो 36 इंटू सी अगर मैं डायरेक्टली बताती तो तुम्हें नहीं समझ में आता. सो आई शोड यू हाउ इट वर्क्स आउट. 1s 2s, so this comes as 10 meters per second. Okay, now same way if we do the reverse case. Now let us take the reverse case where we have to convert meter per second to kilometer per hour. Now suppose the question given over here is convert or express 15 meters per second into kilometer per hour. So now the ulta, the conversion factor will become exactly the reciprocal. So 15 into 18 upon 5 now it will be. Again the working goes the same as I showed you in the previous one. So 3s are, so this comes as 54 kilometers per hour. Copy this down. Going to the next question. Let us erase this. I know I'm giving you too much of time to copy it down. Initially we'll go slow, then we'll speed up with the sums. Now coming to the graphical question. Now there are many children who face problem in graph. So let us solve one question graphical. Okay. So I'll draw the graph over here. Let me draw it out. So suppose this is a graph given to you of velocity time. On x-axis you have time over here. So 10, 20, in seconds it is given 30, 40 and 50. This is in seconds. On the y-axis you have velocity. So again say 20, 40, 60, 80. This is in meter per second. Okay. This is the origin. Now the graph starts like this. Say it goes till 20. It becomes stable at 60. And then it falls down again over here. So now suppose the first question asked, I label this A, B, C, D, E, F. Now suppose the first question asked over here is, you have to say what is the acceleration in part AB. Now in part AB, if you see over here, the velocity is starting from 0 and it is ending to 60. Time is starting from 0 and ending to 20. So acceleration का जो formula है, that is change in velocity, okay, upon change in time. Now velocity कैसे change हो रही है? It is changing from 0 to 60. So 60 minus 0 and time is 0 to 20. So this comes as 60 by 20, 1 za, 3 za. So this is 3 meters per second square. That is the first part. Now coming to the second part. Same way if they ask you acceleration in part BC. ओके अभी BC में अगर हम ध्यान से देखेंगे वेलोसिटी 60 से स्टार्ट होके 60 पे ही है, देयर इज़ नो चेंज, बट टाइम इज़ चेंजिंग फ्रॉम 20 to 40. ओके सो लेट अस सी नाउ. सो अगेन एक्सेलरेशन इज चेंज इन वेलोसिटी अपॉन चेंज इन टाइम. So velocity is 60 to 60 only. Time is 40 to 20. So 0 upon 20. So there is no net acceleration over here. CD part में तुम लोग find out करोगे as homework. अभी CD part का I will try to tell you what is the displacement. Suppose if they ask you displacement on any part. Okay. Okay, so displacement in CD. सो एनी एरिया एनी पार्ट का डिस्प्लेसमेंट अगर निकालना है हमें तो उस पार्ट का हमें एरिया निकालना पड़ेगा. ओके सो डिस्प्लेसमेंट विल बी द एरिया ऑफ द ट्राइंगल दैट इज CFD. सो दैट इज हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट. सो हाफ इंटू अगर तुम बेस देखोगे तो 40 to 50 मतलब 10 का बेस है. हाइट है 0 to 60 तो 60 का हाइट है. सो एनीथिंग यू कैन कैंसिल आउट. 5 जा. So your displacement comes as 300 meters. Okay. Copy this down. चलो मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो ग्राफ का हमने क्वेश्चन कवर कर लिया है, जहाँ पे वी ट्राई टू शो यू हाउ टू फाइंड एक्सेलरेशन ऑल्सो, हाउ टू फाइंड वेलोसिटी ऑल्सो. ओके, लेट अस मूव ऑन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Okay, let us start. Now the next question is, a car acquires a velocity of 36 kilometer per hour in 10 seconds starting from rest. Okay, this is the question given. Now you have to find out first acceleration. Now see, it is starting from rest. कोई भी चीज़ अगर रेस्ट से शुरू हो रही है, so always initial velocity will be 0, and it is acquiring a velocity of 36 kilometer per hour. Now if you see, the time is given in seconds, so you will have to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second. So 36 into 5 upon 18, just now I showed you in the previous sum, so that comes to 10 meters per second. Now acceleration is change of velocity upon time. So 10 minus 0 upon time is given as 10. So 10 upon 10. So your acceleration comes as 1 meter per second square. Second they have asked to find out is, this was the first. Second they have told to find is average velocity. Okay. Average of anything is what? Sum of the velocities divided by 2. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2. Always take the velocity in meter per second. So 10 by 2. So 5 meters per second. And third, you have to find is distance. Distance traveled. So distance traveled, how we will find out? Now you know velocity is distance upon time. So distance will be velocity into time. अब velocity हमें 10 में मिला हुआ है, right? And average velocity, sorry, you have to take over here. So the average velocity we have got is 5 and time is given as 10. So this becomes 50 meters. So this is how you find the three things. So copy this down. Now coming to the next question. एकदम basic questions हम ले रहे हैं. Let's go on. Next, a body starts with the initial velocity of 10 meters. So u is always initial velocity. So it is starting with the initial velocity of 10 meters per second, and acceleration is given as 5 meters per second square. You have to find the distance covered in 5 seconds. Time is given as 5 seconds. तुम्हें distance covered find out करना है over here. Okay. Now first we will see acceleration. Acceleration, as I told you, is change of velocity upon time. So acceleration 5 दिया है. Final velocity we don't know. Time is given, initial velocity is 10 and time is given as 5. तो ये 5 ऊपर आएगा. So 25 plus 10. So this gives you 35 meter per second. ठीक है. Now why we found out this is क्योंकि हमें distance के लिए average velocity लगेगा. So next step will be to find the average velocity. तुम डायरेक्टली इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन भी यूज़ कर सकते हो, इसमें नो इश्यूज़. ओके, बट दिस इज़ अ एकदम बेसिक हम स्टेप्स बता रहे हैं. बाई 2, सो दैट गिव्स यू 45/2, so that is 22.5 meter per second. Now distance traveled is average velocity into time, so 22.5 multiplied by 5. So 5 5s are 25, carry 2, 5 2s are 10, 11, 12 meters. Okay, so आज के सेशन में we have covered the basic sums of two lessons, lesson number 1 and lesson number 2. Next session में we are going to cover lesson number 3 and lesson number 4. Do leave your comments as to whether you have understood everything, whether you liked it, or is there any other simple numerical you feel that should be taken in this. Do subscribe to our channel, okay, and post your comments, children, because your comments makes us improve a lot. Thank you so much everyone. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye. Thank you.